buried with chapter 2. This is some sci-fi thing. We're standing on this platform of what looks to be a fancy subway. The rails look well used but not old. There are small overhead lights that are very dim, as if they were running on emergency power. The dim overhead lights are a blessing, but the size of the place makes me feel vulnerable. Staring ahead, the tunnel seems to be endless. It's almost dizzying. But there's a small light further ahead and then a space that breaks the monotony of the tunnel's curved surface. Another platform, maybe? Why are we in a subway tunnel? Dennis, what do you think this is? Yeah, let's get his insight. What do you think this is, man? Looks like we're waiting for a D train. Dennis says with a deadly sounding cackle. Also, the ringing sound is louder down here. It's much more solid now, and there's some other sound. Something like the faint hum of machinery. What's your take on this, boss? You think we're safe here? Dennis asks. No, this is what I think to myself, but I don't want to let Dennis see why I'm rattled. While he seems to be limping along much better than we first stumbled into this place, he's still in rough shape. I'm leading him here, and I should probably make him feel confident now. Yeah, we'll be fine. I'm not sure, this is creepy. I'm gonna be honest with him. I think this is creepy as fuck. I think we can officially say that we have no business here. I continue. Really? If you want the truth, I'm a little frightened. A place like this, buried under the woods? Oh, it just doesn't feel right. I feel like we've walked into a trap or something. You can't walk out! My lack of confidence is mirrored in Dennis's face. If he wasn't uneasy before, he is now. For the look of it, we can go either left or right. The left is slightly lit, the right not so much. This makes me uneasy because I get the sense that one wrong turn in a place like this would have us wandering for hours. Suddenly I jerk my head to the right as I hear this unmistakable sound of someone walking. Do you hear that? I ask Dennis with my eyes straining to see anything in the darkness. Not sure, he says. Maybe it kind of sounds like footsteps. I wait a moment, but the sound doesn't come again. So those are our options. To the left are flickering lights, indicating that, well, we'll at least be able to see there's also a hum of machinery, a sign of life. To the right, it's just darkness, but also footsteps. Fuck that, fuck the right. We're going to the left. Why the hell would I go in the darkness? I mean, yes, this thing is a ball of light, but I'm not walking into a dark-filled room with footsteps from someone I don't know who it's from. That is just nightmare. That is literally a nightmare. Nah, I'm going left. I'm going to the left. You decide to go into the lights. That sounds creepy. Seems smart to stay into the light. Left it is. Yeah. No wonder. As we head left, the lights ahead are like a beacon in the dark, lurking us forward. Someone left the lights on for us, Dennis says, trying to be funny but creeping me out instead. I wonder if that's a good or a bad thing, yeah, I say. As we near the lights, I hear the hum of machinery grow louder, but it doesn't sound like a machine I've heard before. As the light increases, I use it to take inventory of Dennis and his condition. While the bleeding seems to have stopped, the amount that is soaked into his pants and shirt is beyond alarming. How much further can we walk? Can you walk? I ask him. Can you keep going? Yes, Dennis says. Let's walk into the deep tunnel that has no business being here. Now, fully stepping into the light, I notice that the sound of machinery is coming from an area on the left side that is protected by guardrail. Whiffs of bright blue lights dance on the walls as they leak out from whatever is below. I also notice a posted sign that says danger, severe radiation poisoning threat. Stay back and move on. Dennis, I don't think we should get any nearer whatever it is down there, I say. Dennis studies the blue lights a bit longer and then nods. He's hurting enough as it is. I don't think we need to add radiation poisoning to this list of ailments. Or mine for that matter. We stay away and take off in the tunnel again. As if I start walking, I notice another structure coming into view up ahead. Yeah, it was like, do we really want radiation to that whole thing? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. We don't need that at this point. We don't need this at this point. Okay. We might have found civilization, maybe. As we head further into the tunnel, we reach another platform. There's a light coming from the platform, but like an overheard lights, they were dim, red emergency lights. I start to wonder if this explosion at the logging site caused a power outage in this place, whatever this place is. The ringing noise that I originally thought was in my head was getting louder. I'm starting to think it's some sort of alarm. When we come to the large open area in the tunnel, it further resembles a subway station. As much as I try to ignore the reality, it's undeniable. We have stumbled into some sort of high-tech transportation system that is buried beneath the forest of Kentucky. It makes absolutely no sense and creates an entirely new sort of fear as to what the hell we have walked into. I notice that Dennis can't seem to stop himself from shaking. His fear is mirroring my own. When we reach the large opening, we have to climb over the rails and onto the platform. I have to help Dennis over the rails and then up the small utility ladder that is bolted onto the opposite side of the travelway. When he reaches the large open area resembling the subway waiting area, he collapses onto the floor and lets out a heavy breath. You know what? Dennis says, exasperated. This is ridiculous. I quit. I'm not going any further. On top of worrying about my crew and the madness of wherever we are, I'm not in the mood for Dennis to act like a baby. Get up. Pull it together, man. Look, we're in deep shit. We are like in deep some weird facility of unknown warranty shit. You can do this, man. I'm not one with a gash. I'm not one with a gash in my side. I think to myself, so I decided to cut him some slack. Damn, boss, I'm sorry, he says. It's okay, I say. I don't know how you're still on your feet, if I'm being honest. Stubbornness, he says with a weak laugh. You need a minute to rest, I ask? As warmly as I can, muster? No. If I sit down to rest, I'm afraid I might not be able to get back up. Let's keep going while I still can. I reach down, help him to his feet, and then we get ourselves up to the platform. Right in front of us there's an entrance to a long hallway, exiting the platform area. It's at this point that I realize those red emergency lights might be on for someone else who's actually supposed to be here. Yeah, yelling out is not the best case of action. Why is this an option? You don't yell in this situation unless you want to die. You stay goddamn quiet. Stay goddamn quiet. I'm still not sure if I want to alert anyone on the fact that there are strangers in this secret place. And the thought of hearing a scream, even my own scream, in this empty place is too much to bear. The emergency lights continue to flicker overhead, casting a sick sort of pinkish light on everything. My mind is racing with the sort of place this might be. It's obvious that it's meant to be a secret. And if it is supposed to be a secret and then there was a power outage recently, maybe most of everyone was been evacuated. This thought does nothing to make me feel any better as we walk towards the platform exit. We stay inside and it seems just as empty as every other place we've come through. Weakly illuminated by more overhead emergency lights. We're standing inside a hallway that looks surreal for a moment. Just for a minute here, I know my reading of this is terrible. I'm just doing this to provide some sort of commentary because I feel as though if I don't say anything, it's just bland. And hey, you know, I'm just trying. Oh, that's brilliant. That's great. Red, ominous goddamn hallways of a goddamn facility. The hallway reminds me of a hospital wing, as I just said, but there's something not quite right about it. It's the first clean and tidy area I've seen since we come to the woods. It looks like it's recently been used. Despite the dim emergency lights overhead, there are chairs against the walls and the floor looks so clean. as do the walls. The ringing noise is definitely coming from here, and a small flashing red light along the ceiling seems to flash along with it. That ringing noise is an alarm, I say, if only to confirm my own thought. But for what? Dennis asks. And then he asks the question that has been on my mind since we fell into that hole. What the hell is this place? We exchange a look that speaks volumes. We reach the end of the hallway and hear a sound like a large metallic grinding. This is followed by a clinking noise and then an unmistakable noise of generators kicking on. Oh, that's brilliant! Someone's in here and they didn't get the memo. Nah. Without warning, the facility jolts to life. The red glow of emergency lights is suddenly replaced by bright white fluorescent ones. That mechanical hum is oddly comforting. Somehow the power being back on urges me on. It's then that I notice that the ringing noise has stopped. So it had been an alarm. But for what? Just for the power failure? We head down the hallway, the electric hum of the lights sounding eerily overhead. Other than that, the place is dead, quiet. The hall is about 100 feet long, with two main doors. The one door opens into a large room that looks like a conference room with a whiteboard and paper strewn about. Across the hallway, another door looks like a laboratory of some sort. Dennis slumps against the wall in a defeat and lets out a scary sounding chuckle. Something funny? I ask as a dark, brooding panic starts to grip me. Dennis just keeps chuckling as he slides down the floor. I'm just gonna sit here a while. You look around. What? No. You're not. No. Why have I got jack shit? Oh, I can walk? No, buddy. I'm not walking anywhere alone. That is some horror cliche 101. Let's split up, gang. Let's find out where we are. Nah, I'm gonna stick here. We're gonna stick together as a group, okay? I ain't dying. There's a look in his eyes that reminds me of far too much of a dead animal in the side of the road. Don't know what to do. Enter the lab, enter the conference room, enter the lab, enter the conference room. Conference room might have some information, but a lab can show a lot of details. You know what? Let's check the conference room. That might have some actual, like, planning detail here. Like, what happened? What's happened here? Oh boy. A large table sits in the middle of the room, lined with a series of chairs. It looks like something straight out of a showroom. A well-used whiteboard hangs on the wall, and there are scattered papers on the desk. Look at the papers. Look at the whiteboard on the wall. Let's look at the whiteboard. What does that say? A few things were scribbled on the whiteboard, mostly formulas and names. But there are some things that are easy to understand. Things that make my blood go cold. Subject 6, cause of death. Embolism or aneurysm, or both. Ideas for a new delivery mode. Spherical liquid. Induced comatose state first. Terracore, possible plutonium supplier. Look at the papers. Look at the papers. Most of the papers are printouts and have codes, equations that go way over my head. But there are also handwritten notes that don't make me feel any better about our situation. I read through them and see scrolled notes that say things like, last experiment failed, overdose before transport. Levels indicate cellular catabolism. Question, more. Lead shielding, export suits. Measurements make no sense. Let Barksdale know about possible Higgs field fix. Outside the hallway, I hear Dennis grunting. I head out to the room and see him still seated on the floor, but I don't get very far, because as I exit, a man comes rushing around the corner with an automatic rifle in his hand. Well, I'm dead. We're dead. No. It's hard to look beyond his rifle, but the man carrying it is young, with messy dark hair. His skin is so pale that I wonder if he lives down here. He has the look of guys who's been cooped up in for a little too long. He doesn't seem like any kind of person that I trust with a gun in a stressful situation. As he sees us in the doorway, he screams and brings the gun up. It is aimed directly at my head. Why would you try to attack? That's just a dumb move. You put your hands up. I put my hands up in the air, surprised at how natural it feels to go into this surrendered state. Maybe it's because this feels like a dream. Maybe it's because I feel like I'll snap awake if this maniac pulls the trigger. Who are you and how did you get in here? The man asks harshly. Before we can answer, he continues speaking. I don't recognize you. If you're here, you would have to sneak by the security mics in this entrance hall. What? I ask, unable to think of anything else to say. Who are you? The man asks. Did you do this? The man eyes us both, and I see something in his eyes that unsettles me. He is scared, but there is something else. Well, saying we're nobody does not really help your case. We're nobody, don't shoot us, that doesn't really add to anything. But we say we're loggers. I'm not saying he'd believe us, but it's more than we're nobody. We're just loggers. His eyes look distant for a minute, and then he says, bullshit! But for some reason, I'm pretty sure he knows I'm telling the truth. Someone knocked on the power, the man says. It's back on now. But if it was out long enough, well, we're in a heap of trouble. Was it you? Who sent you? Look, we don't know what you're talking about, Dennis says. Something happened out in the woods. Are you alone? Are there others with you? The armed man asks, thrusting the gun in my face. How the hell did we get in this situation? I think to myself. If we hadn't fallen into this hole, we wouldn't be here. I'm not really sure if we want to be giving this guy information. We don't know anything about him. Then again, he might have answers. Right, if we tell him we have a crew, he might be more anxious. He might think there's many of us, like some weird organization try to take him down. But if we just tell him it's just us, he might not believe it. We're looking for our crew. We have other crew members that we can't find, I say. Your crew? Yes. If this man thinks that we're nuts, there's no telling what he might do. The fact that he looks a little crazy himself makes the situation even hairier. But how'd you get in here? I point down the hall towards the subway. We came in that way. The doors weren't locked. The expression calms down a bit, but I'm still very aware that the gun is leveled less than a foot away from my face. Don't grab the gun, because if you pull the gun, all it takes is one pull and you're dead. Please put the gun down. The only way I'm putting this rifle down is after I've blown your brains out, the man says. With that, he sticks the muzzle in. Oh boy, it's a childish move, a playground tactic at best, but it's sufficient to show me that he knows he's in control now. He then levels the rifle at Dennis, and I can only assume it's because his wounds make him appear to be a weaker of us. The man takes a shaky step forward. Dennis looks back and forth between us, the barrel of the gun and me, his eyes pleading for help. Oh boy. If we move, he might pull the trigger. That's what I'm just thinking. This guy's... Right. If I do move, there is a possible chance that he might just click, and that's it. He's done. I say, stay back. Dennis looks furious and terrified at the same time. His eyes are growing wide and I can feel the rage coming off of him. I know I should or do something, or say something that might make the situation better. Even here, I should be the leader for Dennis. I should be his boss, just like when they're cutting logs. I should go to the bat for my employer, and sometimes friend. But I don't. I actually find myself taking a single step back. Dennis looks angry, but more than that, he looks nearly disappointed. I don't know what's going on here, but here we are. We made a mistake. We have no business here, the man asks. But now the power is on. I think you might be too late anyway. For what? But he doesn't answer me. Instead, he steps forward and actually pushes Dennis backwards with the end of his rifle. That single act of aggression seemed to clue Dennis into just how real this is getting. His eyes go wide in surprise as he hits the wall behind him. The man then repeats a question asked before, one that makes no sense and is honestly makes me think he might be a little crazy. Who sent you? You asshole from the Pentagon. I'm not quite sure how to take this question. Is this guy joking? Yeah, I'm the president. No, what the hell are you talking about? Being a smart ass ain't gonna get us anywhere. No, what the hell are you talking about? No, I say, we're just loggers. Something blew up and my friend got hurt. We're looking for the rest of our crew. Likely story, the man says, but I see a flicker of recognition in his face that makes me think that he might believe me. Still, his grip on the gun is tight as ever. The look on his face makes me think he'll shoot at any moment. You both just look silly. You both just stand still, he says. Sooner or later, someone will come along and I'll turn you over. He again thrusts his gun forward, and as if there's an invisible bayonet on it. There's no need for that, I tell him. I have no guarantee that he won't pull the trigger. Look, Dennis says, we don't want any trouble. We're just as confused as you are. Then in a movement so fast that I just about missed it, Dennis lunges forward. Fuck. I have no idea how he is moving so fast. Just 30 seconds ago, I was worried about how close to death he looked. But now he's moving lightning fast, his left arm coming down to the barrel of the gun, like a club. In the commotion, the man does pull the trigger. The booming noise is deafening, and there's a moment where I think I've been hit. It takes the clanging noise of the round tearing into the floor at my feet to help me realize that I have not been shot. I look at the floor and see where the shot missed, my right leg by less than 3 inches. I'm paralyzed in shock for a moment as Dennis and the man fight over possession of the rifle. There's a fire extinguisher on the wall I could use as a bludgeon, but I might not have enough time to grab it before Dennis is overpowered. Grab fire extinguisher and come back. Punch him. Punch who? Punch the guy, obviously, but it doesn't say him for some reason. It doesn't say punch the guy. Fuck it. Fire extinguisher. So here it goes. I take a chance dashing for the extinguisher, but my absence gives me the man enough time to pop Dennis on the side head with a rifle. As I hear Dennis wail his pain, I rip the extinguisher from the wall and instantly lift it over my head. The man realizes what I'm doing as I come barreling across the room. He's too late. I bring the extinguisher down quick. He doesn't have time to adjust the rifle for a clear shot. All I can do is practically block the blow, which he does poorly. I hit him between the neck and shoulder along with his right side. He hollers out and falls awkwardly to the ground. There's a dazed look in his face, and I wonder if I may have knocked him out for a moment. He still holds the gun, but his hands are limp. I feel the extinguisher heavy in my grip. I can hit him again just to make sure he won't be a threat. Leave him for now. It was self-defense. He's definitely out of it. No threat. Or at least that's what I think. But he surprised me by mustering out one more swift kick in my direction, connecting with my forehead. My eyelids swell into the size of grape almost immediately. It seems like this is the last attack is more to spite me than defend himself. I stumble back and ready myself for another round of blows, but he just slouches into the floor. He's done. Dennis grabs the rifle and instantly hands it over to me. I take it with shaking hands. He's still wincing from where Marcus knocked him while I headed the fire extinguisher. Dennis looks at me. I'm a stray dog that might bite him. It's a childish look, but in a way, I deserve it. I could have helped him but stood idle. I couldn't do anything, buddy! He had a gun on me! Still, he says nothing else. He lets the situation play itself out, not wanting things to get tenser. What do you know, boss? We've come this far and I want answers. I sense that Dennis does too. I take a hard look at the man before I reply. We get answers from this guy. No answers, the man says. I don't have any. Next time I won't just hit you, I say, plunging the rifle towards him. Now get up. He obeys quietly, but his legs are wobbly, and he leans against the wall for support. I can feel my swollen eyes from where he kicked me earlier. I just hope it doesn't get so bad that it affects my sight. Okay, let's move, I say, pointing the gun further down the hallway. We come this far and I'm not going to let this guy stop us. We walk down the hallway until we come to the end. A single elevator waits for us. Its steel sliding doors larger than a normal elevator. Continue. Oh, that got tense. What was I supposed to do there? Just let him shoot me or shoot him? I'm pretty sure if I moved, he would have killed him. Before I get into the elevator with this guy, I think it's wise to learn a bit more about him. I can tell it's making him uncomfortable for me to have his gun. What's your name? I ask. Marcus. And you work here? It's clear he doesn't want to answer, but he gives us a low nod. We're looking for the rest of our crew. Any idea where they might be? I ask. No, he says curtly, not bothering to elaborate. There's gotta be some useful info we can get out of this guy. I just need to know how to dig for it. I need a first aid kit for my friend here, I say. Where might I find one? Down in the second hall, he says, but we can't go down there. What's on level 2? He looks at me like an idiot. He must be aware the inside a classified government facility, he says. It makes sense, but I want to doubt it. Well, I'm sure our government would want you to help my friend. So take me to the first aid kit. I can't, he says. You don't have clearance. Hell, I barely have clearance. Then seemingly to himself, he mutters, I make this place run. And not even a thank you, just a bunch of restricted access rooms that I'm only allowed to go into with a freaking chaperone. I interrupt his monologue. We're going to that first aid kit. I could lose my job, he says. I wonder for a moment what sort of trouble I could get into for hitting a government employee. This makes me glad I took it easy on him. Then again, he had come to us with a rifle. It makes me think that things have gone terribly wrong in this place. And the explosion in the woods, or whatever the hell happened, might be linked to this. I need to convince him to take us to the second floor, but I'm not sure if it would be more productive or a threat to him to ask for sympathy. On the one hand, threatening him might work, because we have the gun, but at the same time, I don't know if that will or not. Let's just ask and see how it goes. Look, I say, it hasn't been the best day. We're just trying to find out what's going on, to find our crew, to survive. I know that this isn't a normal situation down here. It looks like all your protocols have been blown out of hell. Can't you help us out? He looks at me sternly, weighing his options. Okay, he says. Thank you, I say. With an untrusting stare, Marcus walks into the elevator door, approaching a small keypad to the door. He punches in a numeral code on the keypad, and we can hear a slight mechanical hum behind the steel doors. After a few seconds of angry glances and frightened sneers from Marcus, the elevator arrives. The steel doors slide open with a whisper, revealing the interior. Oh, that worked. Or he might be trying to kill us. Oh boy. It's exponentially well lit, and it looks like to be made of stainless steel. I half expect the thing to take off at the speed of light. There's another small keypad in the front right panel by the door with an options for 3 sub-level floors. Looks like this elevator doesn't go to the surface. So after we get the first aid kit for Dennis, how do we get out of here, I ask. We can't leave, Marcus says. Once the power comes back on, the whole place is put on lockdown. What? I shout. Can't you override it? No, it's to prevent anything from getting out. I can't. Marcus looks as deflated as Dennis. We can't get out. We're stuck here. Dennis leans into the corner, almost falls into the floor. The struggle for the rifle took a lot out of him. I can see that much in his face. Slowly he starts to move down. The hum and the grind of the car's motors filled the space. So are we stuck here forever? Marcus scowls at me. I think it's a fair question. It doesn't seem unreasonable to assume we won't be able to get out of here. We'll find somebody with the access codes. They'll be begging me to figure out how to lift the lockdown. These people think they're so brilliant, but some of them could barely turn their computers on with our help. The top coder in my class at MIT, and I'm stuck in living underground helping idiots who don't even trust me with keys. What goes on here? That's a question I want to know. What goes on in this place? Marcus shakes his head. You may as well shoot me. I can't tell you. Why not? It's beyond classified, and the things I know don't even cover the start of it. What does that mean? I asked, starting to get irritated. It means that even if I wanted to tell you that sort of work is done here, I don't know enough about it. Well, what is your job then? I handle the IT work and make sure that the databases are up and running. It's a 24/7 job. I haven't seen sunlight in almost a year. I wonder what staying in this place like this for that long would do to someone's mind. I was recruited, he continues, because of the workload. No one else wanted to do this job, but I don't really mind being by myself. No family. Plus the IT, it's some crazy shit. Crazy shit how? This place generates over 100 terabytes of data per day. He answers, getting the slightest bit excited before his face falls again. Well, what happened? What knocked the lights out? What happened here? What happened here? Seems like some sort of power outage, Marcus says. That's all I know. There was an outage, and then what? Then things got weird. Things got bad. Bad how? The whole place seems to be shaking, and the lights went out. I was checking the monitors when it happened, and everything went dead. It took no more than a minute or so before I started hearing that scream. People were being killed by something. I tried getting the security camera going again, but they only lasted for a little bit on my backup systems. But what I saw, what? I asked with a sharp fear worm its way into my guts. Well, what I saw on the screens for that little bit of time made no sense. It made me get the gun for the emergency vault. I think whatever it is, it's still down here. Hold on. There's an emergency vault with a rifle in the same room as the security cameras in this place? Marcus gives a grin that looks nearly insane. There are guns locked away in every room in this place, just in case you know. So we're still in, yeah, it could be in here still. Just in case of what? As he opens his mouth to answer, the elevator comes up to stop, and the doors slide open. Marcus is out right away, without a word. He makes his exit and heads directly for a glass-in room that is filled with computer monitors and high-tech equipment. Des and I fly out behind him, trying to keep up. As we do, one very alarming question runs through my head. What the hell kind of government facility keeps loaded guns and emergency vaults in every single room? Chapter 2. Oh, things are getting spicy here. Like, what the hell could be so dangerous that they have to keep everything locked up? That is interesting, very interesting. Curiosity. You and 39% of players obeyed the warning signs and stayed away from the glow. Well, yeah, selflessness. Well, yeah, I did. Look, if I move, he'd shoot me. If I moved, he might have shot him. You and 65% of players were easy on Marcus after he surrendered. Well, yeah, because like, right, the reason I did not move forward is because if I even made a sudden movement, I had a feeling he was going to shoot me or Dennis. That's why I didn't move. To say that's selflessness, I don't know. I mean, if I moved, I'm pretty sure he was going to shoot Dennis. That's just my reasoning.